Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be continuing reading through the entire Bible, through the Action Bible. So, let's go ahead. Alright, so next story is going to be called Entering the Promised Land. Obviously, as we remember, they have to get through Jericho in order to do so. So, many people are, as we discovered last time, of just how well defensively Jericho is, very thick concrete walls, very well armed soldiers, and but with the power of God, anything is possible. So, this is based on Joshua chapter 3 and 4. These are the pages we're starting on, so let's go and get reading on this. Alright. Carry the ark of the Lord into the river. As the priests obey, the Jordan suddenly stops flowing. Stand here, Joshua says, with the ark until everyone has crossed over. As if held back by a giant hand, the waters of the Jordan stop flowing, while the whole Israelite nation crosses over into the land that God has promised them. And that giant hand would be God's. He has split the oceans. He's given Moses great power. He's has obviously stopped the waters, and he's helped them to great victory many times. But, continue. When all have crossed, Joshua orders a man from each of the tribes to bring a large stone from the riverbed. Carry these stones to the camp. They remind us of how God stopped the Jordan so that we could cross safely. Joshua sets up 12 more stones in the middle of the Jordan at the place where the priests hold the ark. Then he tells the priests to carry the ark across the river. When they reach the bank, the flood waters of Jordan rush through the riverbed. The Israelites set up their first camp at Gilgal, where here they celebrate their first Passover feast in the Promised Land. So now they're in the Promised Land. You know what? We're going to go ahead and read the next great story called The Walls of Jericho, based on Joshua chapter 5 and 6. Here we go, so that way you guys get like a good idea what's going on as I'm reading. In the Promised Land, the Israelites find fruit and grain. As they speak among themselves, look, food enough for everybody. Thank God this is a wonderful place. And that's something, just a quick side note, is always be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for the food that you have on the table, the health that you have, the family that you have, the job that you have. May not be the job you want, but it's a job and it's getting you by. So always be very thankful, because there's people that have it so much worse and are still so much more grateful. And blessings will come, trust me. Now that the people can find food for themselves, God no longer sends the manna he has sent for 40 years. Now, while the rest of the camp enjoys the new land, Joshua scouts the area in the preparation for the attack on Jericho. Suddenly, he looks up and sees a man with a sword. So an angel takes form of a man with a great sword. And as he looks behind him, he thinks to himself, is he going to try to kill me? And an angel will be probably kind of intimidating. As they're explained, they're quite large and very strong and powerful. And, probably even glow, I'd imagine kind of have like a glow to them and things. So, but Joshua is no coward. Bravely he faces a stranger. So he rips out his own sword and begins to try to attack. Are you a friend or an enemy? He shouts out. Neither. I am the captain of the Lord's army. So he immediately kneels down. What is it you want to tell me? First, take off your shoes, for the place which you are standing is holy ground. Joshua obeys. Here is what you have to do to conquer the city of Jericho, as he explains to Joshua. When the angel leaves, Joshua returns to camp and calls the priests together. I want the ark carried around the walls of Jericho. Seven priests with trumpets will march ahead of it. Once a day for 6 days in a row, Joshua marches the Israelites around the city of Jericho. From her house on the wall, Rehab watches anxiously, which was, if you remember, was the woman that helped the two scouts. And, so the Israelites showed no sign of attacking us, yet the city is breathless with fear. She, thinks herself, because now they march around the city, for 6 days straight, blasting their trumpets, singing praises to God, marching the Ark of the Covenant around. And here the next page we're reading. So let's see what happens next. And in the guard tower, Jericho soldiers grow tense. What are they even trying to do? Work an evil charm on us? Whatever it is that's working, our soldiers are scared. And on the seventh day, the Israelites march around Jericho 7 times. The priests blow their trumpets, and the martyrs shout. And the walls of the mighty city collapse to the ground. So here are these mighty concrete walls that no one thinks they could ever get through, especially not at a time like this with no weaponry or nothing. It's 12 feet thick on the outside wall, 6 feet thick on the inside wall, big and bold, 30 feet high. But that is no match for God. As they sing the praises of God and they shout His glory, the walls crumble to the ground like they were nothing. And all of Jericho, only Rehab, the woman who believed in God and helped the scouts, is saved. So she was, everybody else on that wall, because they had homes, of course, built on the wall and things, were killed except for Rehab because of her belief in God for helping out the scouts. The Israelite soldiers searched the city for iron, brass, silver, and gold in the tent of the meeting of treasury. Now they, being certain, look at the beautiful robe. Forget it, Joshua shouts at him. Joshua said, we can't keep anything. Oh, he didn't shout. Okay, so yeah, they were talking amongst us. Forget it. Joshua said, we can't keep anything for ourselves. Why should I fight and not take something? I'll hide something, and no one will know it. So Joshua told them not to take nothing because it was God's. They weren't fighting for treasure and gold. They were fighting for the land that God had promised them. Instead, he took some anyways and stashed it away. After the victory of Jericho, now we will see how God's wrath takes on after this. So, after the victory of Jericho, Joshua calls some of the scouts to him. Here's the city of Ai. It guards the approach of our future campaigns. We must find out how strong the city is before we attack. We'll scout it out of the way. We get Jericho. So, we will now see how. Sorry, I just heard noise. So now we will see how tomorrow how God's wrath takes out, especially for the man taking something that was not his. So, hopefully, you guys learned something new. I'm sure everybody really knows the Great Jericho story. There's even a song about it, really, but it's still an incredible story. And just reading, everything that's happened. Well, we learned about Abraham, of course, Adam and Eve, of course, and now even Moses and Joshua. And we're going to continue until we get to the end and see how this carries on. Hopefully, this gives you a better perspective. This is breaking it down a little bit more than when you read, the full Bible, the KJV or whatnot. You might get a better perspective of, what you're reading. So thank you guys for watching. As always, take it easy, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. God bless.